Welcome,
Yay!
welcome, yay!
Yes, it's going to be an exciting show. We have a guest today, which is always super, super good.
So excited.
Um, and I'm pretty excited about this guest
Me
because
too.
she's fabulous. So we will get to our guest. We will. We have just a little bit of news first because we have exciting things happening. But first, I have to taunt Heather.
Bitch! I want it. I want it. You throw me
Mm-hmm.
so much Baby Yoda shade, or is it Baby Grogu shade?
It's going to be Baby Yoda forever.
I know.
Forever and ever and ever.
Never. I know. I don't like, why did they choose that name? Like, really? But oh, I love your tiki mug. That
Isn't
is
that
so
awesome? Look at
cute.
that
He's
guy.
so cute. I want, I love his
Huh?
little face.
Sipping
Dude,
broth.
yes. It's almost like an Inception glass, you know? It's like you're drinking, he's drinking, everyone's drinking. LOL.
Exactly. And so I am testing out the mead that I made for my son's wedding coming up.
That's awesome.
So I brewed it I set it to start brewing on the night that he asked her to marry him, and she
That's
said yes. And I have it bottled, and so I did two different flavors. So the funny thing is, this is actually a combination of both flavors because I had like a little bit left of each one, and I just combined them in a bottle. And so now I'm checking to see how it is, and it's pretty damn good. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
that
Well,
it's
like
pretty good.
like you and I have mixed mead before, like at the Renaissance Festival, and it can
Exactly.
be even better sometimes if you get the right mix. But
Yeah. And so
you
I
make
made
this.
a hibiscus,
Oh
and
yes.
then I made an orange blossom.
Oh
And I
my
have to say,
god.
mixed, not bad.
So that could be an option.
They mix very nicely. I will also tell you, so when I'm just making mead for fun, I usually don't check the proof.
Oh, what do you think the proof is for this one?
I think that wedding is going to be a train wreck
Ah, I'm so glad I'm gonna be there.
because,
I'm having
damn,
some,
it's smooth,
but deceptively evil.
but oh, wow. Yeah. No, yeah.
Well, and I will say that's true about like almost all of your mead. It's very delicious and smooth.
Yeah.
And I mean, every flavor I've ever had from yours, it's
Tell you,
just,
this one's, I think this one's at, I can already tell it's a little higher proof.
oh my God, really?
So yeah, we will have Justin and Mallory, we're going to have a very festive wedding.
Surprise! Everyone's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
always like a good wedding though.
Within 20 minutes.
Well, hopefully it'll be after the ceremony so that way, they're not stumbling down the aisle, that kind of thing.
So I know you're still continuing your Sobertober
Yes. Oh, I'm getting
into
like really tired of it. It's
sober
Sobertember.
remember. I don't even know how you would
Yeah,
say
it
that.
started with Sobertober and then it went into November, and I'm just gonna keep like mostly sticking to it till
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go until about Christmas, and then at that point I'll have a little bit, so
And then you'll be a cheap date.
now oh my god, so cheap. I'm already like so cheap, but like way cheaper. Like you just give me a glass of wine and like, woo!
So, but what are you having tonight?
I am having another hop tea, one of my favorites. I'm having this
Very nice.
Citra hops. It's a delicious. If
How's the
you're looking
Citra?
for a non-alcoholic version, this is one of the new ones,
Yeah.
and it's kind of more citrusy. It's not as bitter as like the super hoppy one they have, Cara. It's a little smoother, more of like a summer. It tastes like a summer beer to me, but like with a tea. So I like this one a lot, but not my favorite one. I think I actually really like that purple one I showed last time, and is really good, and it's pretty. But
I wish they would put that purple one in the variety pack.
I do too. I wish it would be like more of the purple one and less of the hoppy one. I wish you could mix and match the way you like, because I would get way more chamomile too. That one's so good.
That's my favorite so far.
Yeah, it's awesome. But so anyway, that's what I'm drinking. And what are you drinking in your lovely? And that you said your mead, and it's a hibiscus and an orange blossom.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
They're mixed. I mean, you know,
I think that's like a cocktail then.
Yeah, yeah. I meant to do it.
I meant to. Yes, I love it. So we have like a chock full show. I'm like,
oh my God, yeah. We do have a chock full. So we have news. We have Libertarians caught being good. We have a debate question.
Oh my God. I love debate. I'm not good at it, but I love it.
We have all kinds of stuff tonight. So, and our debate question, so that people can start to think about it, is, are Mandalorians just space libertarians? Heather found that question for tonight.
Yes.
So we want people to start thinking about that.
Yes.
Are they?
I'm thinking about it right now because
I know
I have lots of opinions about this.
Yes.
I mean, you could say like everything in the Star Wars universe is a parable for everything. So like we could figure this out. I mean, this could be our whole show for the rest of our lives is Star Wars. How does it relate to life?
Yeah, we could. Well, let's jump into some news. So one of the big news items was we had the quarterly meeting. And that was mainly focused on the budget. And it was pretty calm. I mean, they came up with a balanced budget. It didn't seem like there was a lot of scrambling or anything like that. The budget that was presented is pretty much what was passed. I mean, it was pretty chill.
Nobody threw chairs. I was quite like, wow, this was like way less tense than I thought it would be.
Yes. Yes. So that was pretty nice. Probably the most, I guess, controversial thing that came up, probably was the, so there was a thing put forward saying maybe we should have a committee on how to message on COVID, because there hasn't been much messaging from LP National on COVID. They've left that to the states.
To the states, right?
And, part of the rationale was, well, there's different rules in different states, so just leave it to the states to mention it. Others were saying, no, this is an issue that's happening across the country. So, we talk about every other topic, right? I mean, one of the things mentioned was, the LP went on a rampage over low flush toilets. So if we're going to go on a rampage over low flush toilets, why would we not be talking about this issue?
Like the biggest issue of the year.
Right. Pretty much the only issue that has mattered the entire year. And so, I have been kind of friending and eavesdropping on Facebook, different doctors and doctors groups and that kind of stuff. And they're researchers and they're health policy experts and social workers and mental health experts and that kind of stuff. And watching them interact and talk about this issue and, what's happening, what's, the real information out there, what better policy could be happening. And one of them came up with a policy initiative that when I read it, I was like, damn it. I don't think this guy is a libertarian. I don't. He wasn't trying to come up with anything libertarian. He was just trying to come up with the best, most effective policy that could be implemented right now and do what needed to be done.
Okay.
But it was also the perfect policy that I wish the LP had articulated. It is dead on of the nexus of what we want to do, because we want to put forth libertarian solutions, right?
Yeah.
And we want them to be more effective than a forcible or violent, government initiative.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. So we want it to be more effective, and we don't want it to be using violence, force, or fraud, right?
Yeah.
And that's what he came up with.
I think I read his thing too, and he was just like, we can't force people because they won't stick with it,
Right. Yeah. He's saying, look, this is the reality of this situation. People are divided. So
Is that the guy?
No.
Okay.
Although that is kind of interesting.
I know. I'm like looking at it
I saw his information, and so he was talking about a particular drug that may be promising, but we haven't seen the results and that kind of stuff, but it may be very promising in treatment. So yeah, definitely, Scott. So this is gentleman, Dr. Daniel Golden. And if you're not following him on Facebook, you should be. You absolutely should be. But what he was talking about is, okay, so what can we do right now? And he was saying, look, if we just reduce a transmission rate by 20%, we're doing good. Like, then our hospitals aren't overwhelmed and all that kind of stuff. And we have consensus in the country that we don't want our hospitals overwhelmed, right? That's the point that we have consensus on. So work from there. And he said, draconian measures are failing either because they don't work or because people are ignoring them and because people have had conflicting information. He says, voluntary action eliminates many civil liberties concerns. He talks about achieving buy-in, and then you'll see voluntary compliance, enthusiastic compliance, right? Instead of triggering people into like aggressive, counterproductive behavior. So what he was saying is, we know that the majority of community spread happens in congregate living facilities, big box retail stores, and then private gatherings. So by targeting schools, bars, and gyms, all of them combined, and churches, all of them combined, are not going to get you to 20%.
No.
They're not. They're like at like 5%, maybe 7%, super low. So don't target them. Because when you do, it makes people very angry and non-compliant in all the other areas. So just stop.
So when you actually need them to do stuff, they're not going to do anything.
Right. So his proposal was, if the 40% spread in large retailers, if you could just reduce that by half, right? And a way you could do that by half is providing N95 masks to the cashiers.
Yeah.
These people are already wearing masks. They're already doing that. So by doing this and by his policy initiatives, you are not having to convince one single more person of anything. You're just providing them with a better tool on something they're already doing. Give them an N95 mask. Do it with the other employees as well if you have that. Great. Okay. Congregate living facilities. They also need higher quality masks. Even a small reduction, this is from him, even a small reduction in transmission radically reduces hospital strain, because a single case in a long-term care facility has a 100 times greater likelihood of being hospitalized than in the regular community.
It's very true.
So you could reduce it there and reduce hospital strain. Now, talking about in-home, he's like, yeah, you're not going to set rules about what people do in their own homes. They're not going to follow it. Like, that's just not going to happen.
No.
So give harm reduction information. And he likens that to the difference between abstinent only sex ed and saying, if you're going to have sex, you should probably wear a condom, right? So talking about ventilation, maybe cracking a window open, different harm reduction things, right? To do that. But also talking about people who are 65 and older, giving them access to better quality masks. Those things together,
it would make
get you to 20%. And most older people, they are the highest percentage of people wearing masks anyway. So again, you're not convincing anyone to do anything they're not already doing. You're just giving them a better tool. If you do that, you will get under that 20% elimination of spread. So that's fantastic.
That is.
We are hearing that maybe he is.
Oh, is he? I was
He
gonna say
is a
it's not because he's
libertarian. We
creative.
find secret ones in different places. I will tell you, like, and I don't think he set out to do this. Like, he was just articulating, what could we do right now that would be super effective and get us to where we want to be? And that's what it is. And I was thinking, damn it, this is what the message for LP National should have been. That's what
Yeah.
it should have been.
But I'm glad to hear that there are reasonable people out there that are speaking libertarian, you know?
Oh, exactly. And other medical professionals were like, yes, that, exactly that,
I
do
love
that.
it. I
And
hope
I mean, these were people in all different kinds of disciplines treating COVID patients, ER, trauma, all of that, right?
yeah. I think if it needs to gain more traction, oh, I see. You find libertarians in the strangest places.
Yes, yes,
I love
absolutely.
that.
So we do have some other news. Heather, if you want to welcome home one of our libertarians.
Oh, yes. Hold on 1 second. Oh, my phone fell asleep. Dang it, Kara.
I
I
know,
was going to bring up
I
there.
blah blah
Here
too
we
long.
go. This is what I was doing. Two things at once. There we go.
Yes.
So let's see. All right. Okay, that's good. So welcome home to Imperial County Supervisor Ryan Kelly. This makes 2 county supervisors in California. He has been in office since 2012 and won re-election this year. He ran unopposed. He has been a registered libertarian since 1998, but this morning decided to make it official that he is in his seat as a libertarian. Yeah. Population is 181,000. So
Yep.
it looks like he joins Jeff Hewitt, Riverside, California County, as supervisor, and population 2.4 million. That's amazing.
So
Congratulations.
California, powerhouse.
Totally. Things are changing majorly. I love it. Love
So
it.
I will let you guys in on a secret. I can't
Secret.
give the name yet. Shh, it's a
Okay, I won't
secret.
tell. No,
Okay.
no one here is gonna tell.
But I was contacted by a libertarian today.
Yeah.
He had run for office in 2020 and he did not win.
Okay.
But because of the race that he ran and the connections he has to his community, they asked him to be on the planning commission. So he's going to be sworn in. They have an issue regarding marijuana coming up before their planning commission. And as of right now, the vote is split 3-3. And when he comes on board, he will be number 4 yes vote to pass it through.
God. Okay, so we
So
can't
can't say where.
Okay, I'm like, oh my God, where? What? Who? How?
I know. But I was able to connect him to Mayor Cassandra Fry, who
Okay.
worked with marijuana legalization in her town, and also with Vince Workman, who I serve with in my city because he was on a planning commission for like 3 years before he joined council. So he knows the ins and outs. And the fantastic part is, like, this is part of what we're going to be doing going forward, is connecting our electeds and appointeds into working groups so that we can do more and more and get them support on how they can do this. So yeah, that's very exciting. Hopefully it should be mid-January. The cat will be out of the bag, and then
I
we
can't
can
wait.
probably have him on the show and he can go through this. So
Oh, that'll be awesome. I love
know.
it.
Very excited. Okay, so we have some libertarians caught being good.
Right? Okay. I think I have this one.
Yes. So this is Chris Cleveter, and he's also in my town, and I noticed him caught being good. And I know that he was out today buying gifts for kids in the community. And this was a direct effort. People contacted him directly. He just messaged this. People contacted him directly, and he is buying the gifts and sending them out.
Oh, that's
Dropping them off at their house. We have another Libertarian caught being good. That's James Blair, and he is on City Council in Yelm, Washington. And what he has been doing, and he started this in November 18th, and so he made his first purchase, and I believe he purchased 6 gift cards. And he asked people, name a business that has been shut down or severely hindered by the governor. And so they can't generate sales for the next 4 weeks. People could name their business, they vote for them. And then the 6 with the most votes, he purchased a $100 gift card from each of them and then chucked those gift cards. So it was basically a donation to him.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is really fantastic. And then the last one, we don't have a shot for that, but that's okay.
Oh, I didn't want to like do that. Sorry.
Is Arkansas's Linnea Gabbard. So she has a project called Arkansas Farmers for the People. And that project connects thousands of individual Arkansas people to local farms for the purpose of them being able to directly purchase from the farmer, right? So that the farmer is getting all of the money. And again, this is a voluntary action, encouraging mutually beneficial exchange. And there are, I think there's 8,000 members in there. And she's got a nice spreadsheet of, the farms, what they offer, how to contact them. And then people can just look that up and, make their purchase with a local vendor.
We need to do that in Minnesota. I mean, we have so many farms. This could be awesome.
I saw that and I was jealous.
I'm super jealous. I want
all you states do this.
Everybody.
So I blah-blahed a little long, and I'm sorry, but we have one last Libertarian caught being good, and she is caught being good every damn day.
She really is fabulous.
Jennifer Moore is currently, she's the Eastern Vice Chair for Pennsylvania. She has been doing amazing frickin' work. So bring her on board because we're going to chat with her about her work. And we're also going to chat with her because she's going to be running for chair of Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yay. Absolutely.
I wanted to let you guys know that Daniel Golden, as well as his wife, Nicole, are Libertarians in Pennsylvania. They're both LPPA members.
I got to tell you, that man is freaking fantastic.
Yeah. Since the beginning, he's been putting out great stuff.
Every day. Like every day in a very dispassionate way, putting what the latest information and studies are and then putting them into layman's terms so that anyone can understand them. And he puts them into context.
Yeah.
Like, what is the context? And then allows you to have that information and draw your conclusions and that kind of stuff. My God, I wish he was in place instead of Fauci. Holy cow. Oh. The man is brilliant. He really
is. Certainly is. He just, they just crossed my radar. They're actually in the Eastern District, but they're in one of the far northern counties. So, I look forward to those posts, every time he puts them out.
Yeah, he's truly amazing. So, and Pennsylvania's got it going on.
Yeah, we have a lot going on right now.
And I hear pets going on.
Pets and kids. Sorry.
We're very used to pets taking over the show because usually Heather and I have our cats like
attacking
right there. There.
Don't feel bad. It's happened.
So you have been, how long have you been vice chair of Eastern PA?
This is my 3rd term. So it's been about 2.5 years. Yeah. It's, it's been good though. I mean, just the growth that we've seen in the past 3 years since I've started is unbelievable. I mean, we started out with a broken website that couldn't even accept payments. We didn't really have a good database. I was sending emails to organized counties from my Gmail account. And, it's just a completely different scene now where we have professional branding and we have a whole team working on things. It's just a different landscape than it was in 2018 when I was elected.
I got to tell you, for Pennsylvania, I have been wanting you guys to do a write-up of where you were at and then how you got to where you're at now, because our other affiliates would would kill for that. And if people aren't paying attention to what's happening in Pennsylvania, they better start paying attention to what is happening in Pennsylvania. Your affiliate is truthfully one of the shining lights in the LP right now. And a lot of that is due to your hard work. Truly amazing work.
I mean, I think that a lot of things fell into place. You know, we won the lawsuit in 2016, which reduced our ballot access requirements.
Yes.
So once we didn't have to put so much time and resources and money into that, we were able to focus on things like hiring an executive director, which, you know, Kevin has brought in just huge fundraising and membership increases. I mean, it's all connected. So, you know, it's partially just having a team, having all of our subcommittees populated and working. You know, I can't say enough that it's just everybody that I work with.
You know, and you hit on something important, which is why there are ballot access requirements, and they are purposefully there to bleed us so that we can't do the kinds of things that, you know, then we can be successful. So that first step, you got those requirements reduced, and now you're able to have more of your time, energy, all that kind of stuff, focused in productive ways. And then it kind of snowballs from there. So what are some of the other things that have changed in the last, like, even 2 years of accomplishments for your affiliate?
I mean, we've had a huge, like 400 or 500% increase in fundraising. You know, we went from something like 100 members up to 600. Just in 2019, we elected 47 Libertarians in the state.
Yes, you did.
And I'm hoping that we can triple that going into next year into our municipal. You know, this year we really hit the ground running, and without COVID, we had a great strategy. We were already recruiting we would have run a lot of candidates for a lot of offices, but unfortunately we had to kind of pull everything back to our most important offices. We've regained minor party status just this year in 2020, you know, which is a big deal for us because there's a lot of benefits that come with that. I mean, just in my time as Eastern Vice, I've already organized 7 counties. I have one more scheduled on Monday, and there's another 2 or 3 after that. So that tells you just in my third of the state how quickly we're growing. But like I said, it's all connected. You get the membership numbers in, and you start bringing in the money so you can send those mailers and run those ads, put up billboards. You know, people start noticing that you're there.
You know, and Kevin sends me copies of your mailers. They're excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, your guys' marketing campaign is just clicking on all cylinders. It really is. And I will switch to my Montco glass.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those here too.
Those are nice.
Yeah, you were a speaker at that convention, so.
Yeah. So very exciting. So now you are looking at running for chair.
Correct.
No longer vice chair, but chair. So what are you looking to do? What's your vision for if you're chair? What are you looking to do for your state affiliate and your members?
Well, you know, my biggest, I'm an elections person. I mean, our current chair, and I know he's watching this, so I can pick on him. He is the guy that...
You should pick on him.
Yeah, he's the guy who sold used cars to car salesmen. I mean, he is, you know, charismatic, and he's a smoozer, and that's not me. I will be a very different type of chair because I'm kind of just a ballot access dork. And, you know, the main thing is, you know, I was one of the key people on this project that won us these 47 elections. It was, you know, me and 4 or 5 other people.
Right.
You know, it was Dr. Chuck Moulton's vision. You know, Steve and Kevin did help. Wes Benedict, you know, stepped in and did a lot of work with us. But, you know, it was only, you know, a handful of us that did this. Now we have a huge team, but they need to be brought up to speed in this process.
Right.
So I'm hoping that in a more statewide role, I can, you know, I can turn the attention to the entire state of Pennsylvania rather than just the East, because we won most of our elections here in the East last time.
Yes.
And it was because I was focused, you know, most on my district. So, I mean, that would be the big thing going forward is I hope that we can ramp this up. We can train our ballot access teams. We can find winnable positions, get people on the ballot and, have them be a shoo-in. There's a couple other things. As an elected libertarian myself, I would like to build that network so that, all of us can talk. We have a lot of auditors around the state, which is what I do. Right. And I don't think that we communicate well enough. And on top of that, just continuing with, the fundraising and membership successes that we've already had. I know that we've got, great new IT things that are coming out, keep up the newsletters. Everybody is working like a well-oiled machine at this point. So I would just want to continue the trajectory we've been on.
So, and you also bring something up. You are an elected libertarian, which maybe not quite as rare in Pennsylvania, but that's pretty rare in most states. So what has that been like being an elected libertarian?
Well, I won my election in 2017. I actually survived a ballot challenge. And so at that time, that was why I got so interested in elections, was because I really felt unsupported. We didn't even have any lawyers that, anybody could tell me to contact. It was really my county committee that just pulled everything together and we got through it as a county. But I wanted to ramp that up, that we had the resources. So, since I've been elected, auditor is not a big job in Pennsylvania. Really all I have to do is go to one meeting a year. I do attend township meetings and now, I watch them. The recordings of them, or I watch them on Zoom. But, I've gotten to know the, other politicians in my township. And that's the big thing, is building the connections. Auditor is not a decision-making position, but, I have good relationships with, everybody here in town. And I think that when I do run again, when my 6-year term is up, that they'll help me, even though they're not from my party. So we'll see how it goes. You never know until you get there, but.
Well, and in your position, so you are being trustworthy, you're being responsible, people are enjoying working with you, the residents in your area are seeing what it's like to have a libertarian in an elected, position. So just by you being in that position and earning trust, you are showing people what a libertarian would be like. And so now when they consider up ballot decisions, it's not such a leap for them.
Right. That's what I always say, these positions that we're winning, these people are going to gain the connections and the experience to go on and win bigger offices. And this is how we build the farm team. Even if we just get an inspector of elections or a judge of elections, they are now involved in electoral politics in their community. And I mean, what's more important than elections integrity? I mean, we saw that this year. So I'm hoping that we elect a lot of those people. And I think that we can, because they're very, very winnable positions. I mean, it's not a high bar. They don't need a lot of signatures. We just got to get everybody through the paperwork and give them the confidence to run. And I'm telling you, when we're doing candidate recruiting, the type of people that come to us are, they're business owners and, doctors, pharmacists. I mean, it's amazing the caliber of people that, show up to run for these positions.
So what are you most proud of in the time that you've been vice chair? Is there one particular thing that you've done or worked on that you've said, you know what, this is something our party can build on?
I'm really, really proud of the election wins. That's the most important thing to me, is to get people elected. And I mean, that's what we're here for. We're a political party. I mean, I've done a lot. The even years are kind of a slog. I have run paid petition drives in both 18 and 20. You do that because it's a necessary evil, but these municipal years are what I live for. So, I'm just most proud of winning elections, and I hope we can add to that this coming year. And I hope that being in the position of chair, I'll be able to, recruit more donations and, turn my attention to the whole state. It cost us about $95 for the mailings to recruit these candidates, for each winning candidate.
Yeah.
So, it does take some money, and it was mostly funded by a few of us who were, interested in seeing the project succeed, but we're going to have to drum up the funding if we want to ramp this up. So, that's what I'm hoping the title will help afford me.
Well, and so it wasn't just your time and effort and strategy. You guys put your own money in.
Yeah. I mean, I spent, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, in addition to that, I was up till 3 a.m. stuffing envelopes,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see it succeed, and it did. And a lot of others helped too, every little bit, every county that decided to stuff their own envelopes.
Yeah.
I've got to give a shout out to, John Waldenberger. He, he's the chair of Bucks County and the secretary of Montco, actually. And he owns a music shop. And during his slow time, he stuffed like 900 envelopes for me.
Oh,
I just brought him the pile and he did it. So.
Oh, I love people. I love doers. We need more doers in the world.
It's like, here's your roll of stamps. And that was by the time we got to the write-in initiative. By that point, I was they gave me the mail merge, and I was kind of the only one left on the project. But, we won like another 20 elections that way. So.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you guys had a very systematic way of going through it. It was a grind, and it was a grind for a while. But you guys executed your plan, and you did so meticulously.
We learned some lessons too. Like, I don't think that we would spend money to recruit for libertarian tax collectors anymore because it doesn't make sense. I mean, we just found the type of people that approached us for a tax collector position were not necessarily the type of people we wanted representing the party. Now, that being said, we do have a libertarian tax collector who is elected in Shippensburg. His name is Stephen Bernays. He's the previous secretary of the state party. And he actually ran so that he could resign and, not have someone get that pay and take it from his community.
That is the most libertarian thing ever. I was going to say, what does the libertarian tax collector do? They come up and go, taxation is theft. And then they run away.
So, I'm not opposed to libertarian tax collectors, but I don't think that I would want a cold call recruit for them.
Right. That I can understand. I can definitely understand it. So when is your convention? And if people want to assist you in your race for chair, how would they do so?
Well, our convention, the date is not set yet.
Okay.
We will be actually taking bids at our December meeting. And that will, help us set the date and time. It's kind of tough right now because venues are hesitant about, having a big convention there with a couple hundred people. It will be sometime in March or, maybe very early April, probably. So it'll just depend on, the venue and what weekend works best for them. And, to assist, if you are a dues paying member of the LPPA and you're a registered libertarian, just show up and, vote for the best candidate. That's
fantastic.
We do have a 6 month rule, but, so, sign up now. You can, lppa.org. You can go get your membership. It's $20.
Fantastic. Well, we really appreciate you being on. Again, people check out what Pennsylvania is doing. Jen has done a fantastic job, and she, has a record over the past, 2.5, 3 years. Really good as a candidate. So check her out, see how it is. And then, who knows, might see you in Pennsylvania.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Right?
Like, so great.
I know. See, that's what I mean about she is caught being good every damn day.
I love that. I know. That's something that all libertarians can hope to be, get a little bit better, understand the process, do grassroots, and grow from there,
Yeah, and do so in a sustainable, organized manner.
Yes. That's the hard part is a lot of times you get two kinds of people. You have the ones that, they're like, oh, I have big ideas, but they can't do it.
Right.
And then you have great ideas, but they don't want to work with other people. So someone like Jennifer is the total package, you know, like everything. We need more of her.
Yes. Yes,
and then,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yay! Yes.
So
She is.
I am
That
really
is.
happy. There's so many good people in the Libertarian Party. It's kind of like it wows me every time.
We have a lot of superstars. We
do.
really do.
I think we're kind of lucky.
Yeah,
It's
we are.
awesome.
And they're also decent human beings.
I like that. I don't like being around non-decent people, so this is kind of why I chose to be here.
Exactly.
Oh,
So we do have some regular news, and just how Jennifer was talking about how it is difficult to plan a convention because venues aren't sure if they'll be open or not open or all that kind of stuff. We're experiencing the same thing in Minnesota that a lot of states are experiencing, and that is executive orders that are shutting everything down, right?
yes.
And so we have that in Minnesota. So that's our governor Waltz. And so he put out Executive Order 99.
I love this so hard.
And so and that was November 18th, and it was just supposed to be 4 weeks, but we all know that's a lie. That's a lie.
Yeah. It's forever.
And so what it did is it closed all bars and restaurants again. They can only do takeout. Closed gyms, period, and health clubs and that kind of stuff. So, really clamped down on things. Also did weird things like it's now illegal to talk to your friend in your yard.
In your own yard?
In your own yard. Like if you were in your own yard, you could face 90 days in jail or $1,000 fine. Or say you have a friend come into your house. Same deal. I mean, just crazy. So crazy pants crap going on. Now, many of these restaurants, they have no money at this point, right? They have no money. They are struggling to hang on. They incurred extra costs, many of them taking on extra loans to pay for the cost of compliance with the previous executive orders so that they could remain open. And then they were shut down with no notice, right?
Right.
Okay. So one of our restaurants, and this is in a little town, Lind, Minnesota, about just under 500 people, said, nope, we are staying open. And so it is Haven's Garden. And if you've been to little towns, you know that these restaurants, they aren't just restaurants and bars. They are really like the community hall, right? They're the heart of a community. And so she said, absolutely not. And it's Larvita Mefarkor, and I hope I get her last name correct. She said, no, I am not shutting down. It is not happening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, she was contacted by the county sheriff's office and said, hey, do you know about the governor's order? And she was like, yeah, I do. And he said, well, you could face fines or jail time if you stay open. And she said, yeah, I'm staying open anyway. And then he said, well, I'll arrest your DJ or your employees. And she stayed open. And she became absolutely 100% defiant because she said, look, I don't have a choice at this point. I have nothing left to lose. Nothing. Yeah. So then on November 23rd, our Attorney General sent a letter and said, look, you got to close or we're going to take action against you. And so she said, I'm staying open. I am not closing. Okay. And, she also thanked people who were supporting her. One of the groups supporting her is Action for Liberty. And our friend, Jake Duesenberg, heads that organization. She thanked him for supporting her. And people have come out all over and supporting her. And this has been in national news. November 25th, she got a nasty gram from the county saying, we're going to revoke your license. And then on December 2nd, they did revoke her license. Still, she refused to close. Still refused to close. Today she got a notice, and the county health board voted to restore her licenses.
Yeah.
So that's what she received today.
That's so freaking cool.
They met, they did a vote, they gave her her license back.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
And I'll tell you, that is someone who hung tough. I mean,
We have
she really, 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 really hung tough.
Well, I mean, and this is in the face of like, we're going to do stuff to you. You're going to be fined. You could be arrested.
Also, side note, Travis, I'm going to be contacting you.
Oh.
You and I are going to have a talk. I'm on a mission. We're going to have a talk.
Oh, I just feel so bad.
I know.
That we went through all of that. I mean, think of all the small business owners that are being tortured by this.
Can you think of the stress of being told, we're going to arrest you, we're going to arrest your employees, having the attorney general, like you're running a business in a town of 500 people and you have the attorney general contacting you?
That's scary. Most people would back down because
saying, I'm going to take you to court, we're going to throw you in jail, all of it.
You're like, I guess you're gonna, because what else can I do?
Yeah, and I mean, and she has been flat out just defiant on this, saying, we will do this safely. We're going to continue our practices. But no, I cannot do this. You have pushed me with the back against the wall. Today, another restaurant opened, this one in Grand Forks. So Boardwalk Bar and Grill. And now other restaurants are pledging to reopen, and they are preparing to reopen. We're having a similar thing with our gyms. Gyms are refusing to close, and they have banded together. They've hired a PR firm. They're doing a full court press on trying to get the order rescinded so that they can reopen.
I mean, I think if enough businesses come together and start saying we have to open, we're going to lose our businesses, our livelihood. I think they have to listen. I'd hope they have to listen, or there's just too many businesses doing it that they can't stop them, because it would be like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so they have in contact tracing, when they can contact trace back, restaurants and bars only account for 1.7 of the positive tests we have in Minnesota. 1.7%.
Then they're not the ones to blame.
Gyms are 0.2.
Yeah. I mean, because they have to be clean. There's public health issues there anyway that they have to address.
This is not where our community spread is coming from.
Where do you think it's coming from? I mean, like, I don't know.
We know where it's coming from.
Where is it coming from?
Cashiers in big box stores, long-term care facilities, and families in their home.
Then that's what they should focus on.
The overwhelming majority.
Why focus on things that are incorrect? I don't understand.
Because big box stores have money and clout.
Yeah, you get the Walmarts and everything saying like, yeah, we have to be open.
And they pay a lot of money, and they pay a lot in sales tax, and they pay a lot in property tax. So no, they're not going to shut them down.
They're not.
People could be just like bleeding out on the floor, and they're not going to shut them down. Yeah. And I don't think they should shut them down. Again, just like what Dr. Golden said, have the cashiers like provide them N95 masks.
Yeah. Then they're not being super.
That's all you need to do.
You know, like do that, and then we'll be a lot better off.
Exactly. And then for long-term care facilities, most of them aren't even allowed to buy N95 masks because they're lower down on a priority system of being able to purchase, and they get bumped every time.
But they're the ones that if they get it, they will most likely die from it. You know,
right.
it's It's just
Right.
insane. There's no
It is
logic.
crazy. It is crazy. And then as far as people in their homes, you're not going to get parents to not pick up their kids and smooch them.
Well, I know.
It's not going to happen.
Like, what do? Like, you have two people that work outside the house. Are they going to like wear masks all night when they come home and not be in the same room with each other, 6 feet apart? I'm thinking that's not happening.
Right.
And honestly, if they told you to do that, most people would be like, ha ha ha. No.
Screw off. Screw off. I know.
I think they need a song for that.
We'll see what happens in the next few days for businesses. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Brewworks is closing.
I hate that the breweries are starting to close too. It just breaks my heart.
Well, what are they supposed to do?
I don't know. And also, I mean, like, part of me, it's probably my fault because I'm not drinking that much now. It's my fault.
Heather's responsible for all the breweries in
Mankato. All of them died because it's me.
Right. They're like, damn, why are our sales so low?
It's like, Heather's not drinking. Well, next year I will.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that Brewworks laid the blame squarely at the state's feet. They're like, because of these lockdowns, we are done. This has put us out of business. And I think businesses are going to get more blunt that way, and they're going to have to.
They have to.
Now, for our debate question.
Okay, I'm going to get set up.
Okay.
Here we go.
And we can ask our viewers, are Mandalorians just space libertarians?
Think about that one.
Huh.
So here's what I was thinking about it. Okay. And I think it helps if you're watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, because like, that actually gives you a lot more background on the characters. But you all know probably Boba Fett from, Star Wars and all that, right? So that character is more like an enigma, right? Because he really didn't hear him say anything. He was just kind of like walking around being cool and doing awesome shit, flying and, falling into a Sarlacc pit. But like the Mandalorian show and the books, obviously, although some of them it's questionable if they could still consider them canon or not. The Mandalorians, and if you watch the Clone Wars and all of that, there's so much backstory to the Mandalorian people. And there's different groups of Mandalorians, right, Cara?
Yes.
Like our Mando, who I know he has a name, and they said it once, and I can never remember it. And I keep thinking it's like Dierks Bentley, and I think that's a country music singer. I think
like a porn name.
It would be, yeah, it sounds like a porn name, right? But I'm sorry, I derailed myself. So he's part of like a group that's kind of more fundamental about the way. This is the way. And like never taking their helmets off, like following their Mandalorian code. But the other groups are also a little more open, because after the Clone Wars, and they like the Empire stole all the Beskar and everything from the Mandalorians and kind of divided them up, took their world. They've changed a little bit. The other groups they're a little more like okay, we do what we gotta to get our world back, and like our way. This is the way. It's still the way, but their ways are different, right? Reminds me of libertarians, because like you ask, are you a real libertarian? None of us will ever say, yes, I am a real libertarian.
Did you take your helmet off?
Did you take your helmet off? Well, F you. You are not. I'm a Mandalorian. Wait, libertarian. Yes. No, I know, right? So I was thinking about that, going, maybe they are. Maybe they are space libertarians, because none of them can agree on what a real Mandalorian is,
Well, and I think at some level, libertarians are identifying with Mandalorians, because if you go on any libertarian thread and someone says something or that they're doing or whatever, and people are agreeing with it, everyone is commenting, this is the way, this is the way, right?
Yeah, this is the way. Oh, and here Amber said this. This is good.
Yeah.
Guns are my religion and seem to believe in freedom of religion, but he captures people and returns them for a bounty. Well, that's his job. I mean, like, you
He's
think.
definitely not on board with the nap.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So non-aggression principle. Mandalorians are totally aggression.
Yeah.
However, I would say in the Star Wars universe, even the Jedi are kind of aggression, like if they see
Jedi are evil.
they kind of are. Okay, here's my thought, and
Jedi
it's
are
been
evil.
killing me for a long time, is I love the Jedi. However, they steal children and take them from a very young age and train them and
abuse them.
And
Emotionally abuse them.
Emotionally abuse them so they can never have a normal relationship with another human being. It doesn't seem like they're so cool.
They also don't seem to have a problem with slavery.
They don't. And then, okay, there's a character where they're saying they can't get married, except there's one character in the comics that he was the last of his kind. So they're like, okay, well, you can go get married and have multiple wives. So I'm like, what? How flexible is this religion? Usually most religions are like, yeah. It's like, well, can I just do this sin a little bit? And you're like, yeah, I guess. So on that note, like, maybe they are. Yes, Jedi are religious fanatics.
Yes, they are.
And I'd say Sith are too, but in a different way. I think they're almost like just like the same. That's why I'm like, oh, one's good and one's evil. Like, really? You guys seem like the same to me. Like, one just works better with the military. You're like, one works with diplomats, one works with the military. I think you guys are the same. Like, you should work together and get along. And it's like, it's the force. Don't you think like it's all one force? When you're like, no, it's only one half of it. Okay. So, I mean, the Mandalorians don't get all involved in that bullshit. They're kind of like, they're doing their own thing. I think it reminds me of Viking culture more than anything. Like, the Mandalorians are like community. They are
community focused.
And I think they're I'm not really very sure about if their view of afterlife. I would have to read more about it, but I do have this feeling that it's something like a warrior code. So if you have a noble death, they're cool with it. It seems like if you get bested, even if like the Mandalorians get defeated, they're kind of like, well, you were a better warrior. Okay. Like, they're not like holding grudges, like,
Well, and their clans are kind of like state affiliates.
Yes. Oh my God. So, okay. So are we going to say, like, I know we're running out of time already. I could talk about this for another hour, Cara.
I know.
Do you think Mandalorians are kind of space libertarians?
Well, maybe. So we have had some people weigh in on this. Maybe we should have people on our Sweet Subversives page tell us why they think Mandalorians are or are not space libertarians.
Exactly. I mean, that's your assignment, like, think about this.
And Heather works for a college, so she can give assignments out.
I can. I did. I just officially did.
You've been assigned.
You've been assigned. Also, it's a good assignment because, if we all kind of come to a consensus that Mandalorians are space libertarians, then I'm going to start dressing like a freaking
clan of libertarians.
Although we should not call it clans, but people might get the wrong idea.
As long as it's not spelled with a K.
It's not spelled with a K, it's a C, okay? I know, right? Oh, I want that armor. I think I would wear it all the time. I'm like, this is my libertarian armor. This is how we dress now. you know? And I want a jetpack. Seriously.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Here's one. Because of the nap, they're not. But then I know,
although they do seem to be kind of anti-government.
They're anti-government. I know. It's just like if they were more like I don't know, like the monk warriors, where they're like, I won't fight unless provoked, then it would be perfect. But because, like, you know, they have bounty hunters, I mean, that makes it kind of morally ambiguous. But, you know,
although have you ever gotten a group of libertarians together? They may not fight with fists, but they're sure going at it with words.
Right? Oh man, yeah, there's some aggression principle going on there. Oh man, Amber and me, we're gonna be flying around with our jetpacks. It's gonna be glorious. I totally want to make a Mandalorian outfit now. I think that would be super fun.
This is the way.
This is the way, Cara. Oh, can I wear Beskar if I'm a librarian? They can wear whatever they want. I think so. I think that would be a great character, a Mandalorian librarian. This is the Dewey Decimal.
Well, that's probably their lore keeper.
Yes,
right.
I mean, you have somebody who keeps track of the histories of the families, and you know when Boba Fett did his thing to show his family stuff.
Yes,
that's gonna live somewhere too. You know, like so you can see where the family ties. Okay. I just wrote this book in my head. There's a librarian, a libertarian librarian Mandalorian. Oh God. So write your opinions in the comments, and then I will comment throughout the week and tell you why you're wrong or right. And someday Cara and I will be dressed as Star Wars on the show. Probably for the next Star Wars Day. Ooh, so that'll be awesome.
I
love this. This is the best debate ever. And I see we're out of time now.
I know. So usually we do a, one awesome thing, but I think we're way over time. So we're going to have to hold our awesome things for next week.
Yes, I know. We'll have so many more awesome things next week too.
We will.
My God. Oh, I love this show. Oh my God.
This is a lot of fun.
This is a lot of fun, and this is the way.
Yes, it is.
So, guys, do we have anything else we had to say? Like, real quick? No? Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm like going,
wrap it up, man.
Ramp it up. So, like always, we're the Sweet Subversives, and if you like our show, please support our Patreon at patreon.com, Sweet Subversives. We are awesome. We love you guys. And we will see you next week. Cheers, baby. Have a good one. Clink. See you later.